So hello friends, welcome here to another video. My name is Khalid and you're watching BitBuilder Productions. In this video we'll be working on a project, temperature conversion project or a program in JavaScript that's very crucial for beginners, and they will get to know that how we can access buttons and elements in JavaScript from HTML. Now let's start working. Here we will be making our files and we will be working in this folder, and I have already opened it in Visual Code. So let's start working. So let's make our index.html file. So first of all, what will be the structure of our project? First of all, we will be making a heading and then an input box where we will be getting the input from the user. What will be after input box? There will be two selections. One will be from Celsius. Sorry if no, it's wrong. Celsius to Fahrenheit, and one selection will be from Celsius to Fahrenheit, and section one will be from Fahrenheit to Celsius. And then there will be a submit button, and then there will be a paragraph in which we will be showing our results. And this is very simple thing, and all of these things input box, this will be in a form. Okay, now let's comment it and start working. Here it is our boilerplate code. What is the name of our program? Temperature conversion. Okay, temperature conversion, just it's good. And now let's start working. First of all, we will be making a form. First of all we'll be making a form action. There is no action. So let's begin. The first element will be our heading. What will be the heading? Temperature conversion. Okay, temperature conversion. Now let's open it in browser, make it small, open it in browser and let it side by side. It's pretty good. Now wait a second. Yeah, it is good. Make it some small. No, then like this. Okay, now let's start working. Here is our heading. What will be the second element? Here the second element will be an input box. Okay, now input type text. What will be the type of the number? We'll be getting the number so that we can convert it and perform a mathematical operation on it. Type number, and what will be its ID? ID is input box. Okay, now what will be our third thing? Two selections, Celsius to Fahrenheit and Fahrenheit to Celsius. Okay, now let's start. It will be input to input. Okay, what is its type? I think it will be radio. Yeah, it's radio. And its ID will be, what the first one will be Celsius to Fahrenheit, so its ID will be C to F. Okay, Celsius to Fahrenheit. And label, let's add label. Its label what will be? It is for C to F. Will be write the ID of the above one, and it is for what? It is for Celsius to Fahrenheit. Copy it from here, and here it is for Celsius to Fahrenheit, and simply copy it, paste it again, change it from F to C to C to F to F to C. You can see it's C to F and it's F to C, and it's not Celsius to Fahrenheit. The second one will be Fahrenheit to Celsius. So let's add here Fahrenheit to Celsius, make the F big, and change this one to, make this one to Fahrenheit to Celsius. Okay, now this is good. We are good to go with it. And no, save it first. You can say that they are in the same line. We need to add some breaks. Okay, the first break will be after this tag break. The second break will be after, no, there is no need of break here. The second break will be here. First break will be here. Now let's add a break here. The second break will be after this tag. Okay, now we need a break after it because we will be making a submit button. Now what is the fourth one? Submit button. Now let's make a button. It will be also of input type. Input, what will it will be? Submit. Okay, input submit button. What is the name of the ID? What is its ID? Its ID will be submit, simply, so that we can remember. We'll make the IDs that we can remember goodly. Submit button. Okay, And what was the last thing that we'll be making? It was result. Okay, now let's make a paragraph for result p, and its id will be, sorry, its id will be result. Okay, now format it. Now you can see that it's formatted. Now what is the what we have to do now? Make a style.css file, style.css. Okay, now let's start designing our thing, our HTML elements. And before starting that, we need to add our CSS file into it so that we can work here. Okay, style.css. now you can see that our CSS is connected, and now we can start working on our project, start designing our project simply. Okay, and the first thing that we'll be doing, we'll be dealing with our body. So select our body here by body, and we can do background. You change its background color to some light, you can say white. First of all, let's select white, and now you can change like this is good, some off white, and change it to RGBA. You can see it's not totally white, but it's a shade of white. And the second thing that we'll be doing is text line. We'll be aligning it text to center. Okay, now you can see it's alignment is center. Let's style our h1 tag, h1, and its color will be changed. Color, what will color? Now let's again select, we will select our on our own. Its color will be like this, will be its color. Not too good, it's good. Okay, now this is h1. Now let's style our form, make its background white so that you can view properly. So you can see here that, no, wait a second. Now you can see that I am making it big, small, and I am changing the size of the screen, but the size of the form, it's remaining the same. Okay, the width of the form is remaining the same. Now let's set a max width so that the form cannot take more space than that. The form width will be 350 pixels. Okay, its width is 350 pixels, and its text alignment is already centered. Okay, now you can see that text alignment is already centered. And the thing that we can do, margin auto. So as you can see that it is on the top left corner. We can make it we can set our margin to auto. Let's show you margin auto. Now you can see that it's same margin from here and same margin from here, so it's in center. Okay, and another property that we can make it max width. Okay, max width, maximum, it is maximum width, but the width can be less than it. Okay, now add some padding, like 25 pixel is okay. Now its total width is 400 pixel. For example, its maximum width is 350 pixels, but we have added 25 pixel padding from both sides. Now it's 350 pixels plus 25 pixels, that is 400 pixels. And text align center. Okay, and we can give it also another property known as box shadow. We'll make its shadow, for example, 5 pixel vertical, 5 pixel horizontal, and mix its shadow by 15 pixel. Now you can see that it's looking good. And we can change the color of the shadow too by, let's select black first. Now you can change its color, like make it some less black. You can see that it's good. Okay, it's kind of good. Okay, now change it to default, and now we can design our input box. Okay, input, what was the name? ID input box. Okay, now there is an error here, it's an ID, so I have to write hash. Okay, now you can see that its width is same. Okay, for it and for less, its width is same. Now we can set its width to 50%. Whatever the height will be, its width will be 50%. Now let's set its width 50%. Okay, we have set its width to 50%. Now you can see that its text size is kind of small, like it's very small. We can change it by our font size property, font and size. Okay, what is the font size? I prefer using rem. Okay, now it's 150% of what it was at before. Now you can see it's big, kind of big. And we can change another properties, for example, the border radius of the input box. So its edges will not be sharp. Okay, now you can see. Okay, here. And we can add other properties, for example, make its border solid. Now its border is not looking that much good. 2 pixel. The width of the border is 2 pixel, solid and black. Okay, but change dull its opacity so that it will not be that much black. Now save it. You can see it's good. Okay, increase it to 4 pixels. Okay, now it's much bigger, 3 pixels. Okay, and we can add other properties to it also. For example, now I am writing something in it. It's starting from the chart from the left, but if I give it a property text align center, now it will be starting from the center whatever I write. First of all, save it. No, I have just pressed the wrong button. Save our HTML file, reload it, and when I start writing, you can see that it's starting writing from the center. Okay, and we can give it other properties also. For example, give some properties to our label. We'll be giving only one property to our label, or for example, its font size. The font size of our label is too small. We can give it font size of 1.5. Okay, it's big now, and it's very like it's difficult to read like okay, it's difficult to read. It's very thin. Okay, now you can change. We can change it also by a property known as font weight. Okay, let me set the font weight. Font weight bolder, not normal, bolder. Okay, now you can see that it's kind of good. Yeah, and now design our text button. We can select it by ID, and what was the name of our button? Submit and btn. Okay, this is the name of the our button, and we can change it like make its font size big. Font size will be 1.5, same as above, but 1.5 rem, and we can change other settings also. Now we have set the font size of our button, but there is another changings that need to be done. For example, we can change its background color, and I am going to make it some like very no too much designy, but on this level change it's now it's looking good. Okay, I prefer to use RGB and the colors, edited colors that I can change on my own, and make its add its padding 5 pixel from top and bottom and 15 pixel from both sides. Okay, okay, you can see it's good. Now we can let it's not too much better, 20 pixel. Now it's good. Okay, and we can give it other properties too. For example, we can remove its border. I prefer to remove because it's good without border also. Okay, and there's another property needed, like it's not looking too much good right now. You can see by another property, that is border radius. We have already give the border radius to our input here. We have already give a border radius to our this box. Okay, input box. We can give it a border radius, like border radius will be 4 pixels. Now you can see that it's looking kind of good. We can increase the border radius if you want that, you want to see it more roundy. Now it's good, and we can give it another design when someone will. Now here another design is, that was, yeah, pointer. No, that was cursor pointer. Okay, when someone will move on its cursor on this button, so let me show you. Here it is. When I move my cursor on the button, it's changing. Okay, you can see. Okay, let's reset it to its default position. And there's another design buttons. We can select it by ID. What it is? Submit btn. Okay, when someone will hover over it, its design will be changed. Its background color will be changed to red. Okay, now you can see I am hovering over it and its color is changing. Its color is too much dark. Now let's change it. Here, it's good. You can see. Okay, now we have done, but no, our one thing is remaining still. What is the thing? That is result. Okay, we can make result, and what, no, wait a second. So let's add some text here so that we can give that which design we are giving to our results. Okay. So let's give some designing to it. Let's see. We can make its font size bigger. Font size will be like 1.7575 rem. Okay. You can see that it's kind of big now. So now let's delete it. We will just write this text here so that we can see that which designs we are giving to our result. Okay. Now let's make the file script.js. Okay. So you can see that we have made the file script.js and we have now two things to do. One is add our script file here. Script, and what is its source? Its source is these, both of these are in the same folder, so I can write script.js here. And another thing that we need to do is input type is equal to submit. So here there is another property, on click. You may have heard of it. On click, when what will happen when we'll press the button, a function will be called. What function will be called? Convert function will be called, that I will be making in JavaScript now. Okay. So let's make the function. Just write the parameters of the function. We'll be making the functions after it. We have write the parameters of the function. Now let's get our all the constants and variables from the HTML. What is the first constant? It is input box. Let's write it. Input box here. We have wrote input box. Copy it. Input box is equal to constant input box is equal to document dot get element by id, and here we can simply paste it. Okay. So here we can simply select the other IDs, other ones, like we have selected this. Okay. Now these are good. Now what is its name? Its name is C2F. Okay. We can simply change it to C2F. Okay. And we can change this one to also C2F. Okay. We can change it also to F2C and this one to F2C. Okay. Now it's F2C is simply Fahrenheit to Celsius and C2F is simply Celsius to Fahrenheit. Oh, I found some issue in here. Now you can see that we can select both options at once. Why we can select both options at once? Because we haven't added a property in input. Here you can see there is another property name. The name of the property is name. Okay, we can give a name to our inputs. For example, I am giving the name select conversion. It's not needed, but I am writing so that you can understand goodly. Okay, select conversion and just copy it from here and paste it here. Okay, for example, name is equal to select conversion, saved. And now you can see that I can simply select one at once. Okay, I cannot select both options at once because both of them have same name and same input types. You can see that I can select only one at once. Okay, now let's go back to our JavaScript file. What's it? Go back to our JavaScript file. Here you can see that here it is simply C2F is Celsius to Fahrenheit and F2C is Fahrenheit to Celsius. And we need to get our another thing. What is that? Result. Okay. And what was the idea of the result? The idea of the result was result. Okay. Now we have got our result also in CSS. Now let's start working. We have got our result also. Now let's start working again. And we need to get another thing, that is let temp and temp after. And I will be telling you that why I have wrote these two. Okay. Now first of all, what we'll be doing is if get element by id, what is its name? C2F. If C2F f dot check, what it means? It simply means that if we have selected the option Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay. If Celsius to Fahrenheit is checked, this will be executed. I will write the code after. And else if Fahrenheit to Celsius is selected, dot che checked. Okay. If it is checked, this code will be executed, and if nothing is checked, for example, else, what will be happening? Else will be showing something. Where will be showing something? We will be showing something in the result. Okay. Now, how we can assess the result? We can assess the result by simply result dot text content is equal to, we will be using template literal. I can also use this one, but output looks more clear in it when we write our code. So when we read our code, so that's why I'm writing in this. What will be the text content? Text content will be please select a unit. Okay, so let's see that it works or not. You can say that it is working. You can see that it is working. Please select a unit. It is working correctly, but you can see that when I press the submit button, it is the page is reloading, but it is the default behavior of the browser and we can change it. How we can change the default behavior of the browser? We can change it by event. It is event dot prevent default. Okay, and this is a function that just prevents the default behavior of the browser. Now you can see that I have saved it, and now when I select submit, you can see that please select the unit. Okay, now it's working correctly. Now I can check that both of these are working or not. Now let's check it that these are working or not. But how we can check it? Here we can write Celsius to Fahrenheit. The spellings are not good, but Celsius to Fahrenheit, and here we can write Fahrenheit to Celsius. Okay. Okay. Now let's see that it works on us. Celsius. We have selected Celsius to Fahrenheit, and it is working. Now we have selected Fahrenheit to Celsius, and it is working also. Okay. So these are working. Now let's add our formulas here. So how we can assess the values that we have written in input box? It's very simple. The ID of the input box is simply input box, and we can assess it by input box dot value. So let's see. Temp. What is temp? Temp is temperature. Temp is equal to input box dot value. Okay. Temp is simply the value of input box. Okay. Now let's add the formula. What is temp after? Temp after is what is the formula of it? Okay. The formula of it is temp multiplied by 9 over 5. Temp multiplied by 9 over 5. It's simply like temperature multiplied by 9 over 5 plus 32. Okay. Okay. Now how we can show it? We can show it to our user by result.celsius, and we'll be using template literal again. This time it's necessary. For example, first we'll be showing our temperature at before temp. Okay, this is the temperature at before. And how we can write Celsius sign here? In Windows, we can write Celsius sign by Alt plus 0176, Alt plus 0176, or you can simply copy it from Google or Chrome, whichever browser you use. So here we'll write our Celsius sign. Which temperatures we are converting? We are converting Celsius to Fahrenheit. So temperature at before it was in Celsius. So 2 is, and now temperature after it is in Fahrenheit. So dollar sign and temperature after. Okay, temp after, and what it is in it is in Fahrenheit. Okay, but there is another thing we need to do. So we are typing here our input and getting here, but there is some error. Not error, but the result we are getting, it is in string. So to change the string we can use a built-in function in JavaScript, that is number. Okay, the number is type conversion function in JavaScript that simply converts a string to a number. Now it is our number. Now we can run the function. So let's see it works or not. 12 Celsius to Fahrenheit and submit. You can see that 12 Celsius is 53.6 Fahrenheit. Okay, now we can simply copy it from here. We haven't added semicolons here. JavaScript works without semicolons too, but it is a good practice to add semicolons. We simply have to just change the formula here. And what is the formula for Fahrenheit to Celsius? It is simply temp minus 32. It will be in a bracket. Now we can add a bracket by this, and temp minus 32 multiply by 5 over 9. Okay, so here it is. Now let's check that it works or not. Both of these 23 Fahrenheit to Celsius, it is minus 5 Fahrenheit. Now let's see that, cross check it, minus 5 Celsius to Fahrenheit, it's 23. Okay, now we have cross checked, both of these are working. Okay, you can simply see that we have it's very simple JavaScript code. and it's very crucial for beginner. Not crucial, but it helps us to understand that how JavaScript works. And there is one thing more that we can do, and that is toFixed. .toFixed is a built-in function in JavaScript that is used to, let me show you. I am going to tell you that why it is used for what. For example, let's convert 23 Fahrenheit to Celsius. No, Celsius, 23 Celsius to Fahrenheit. It's 73.4 Fahrenheit. Okay. But when we convert 73.4 Fahrenheit to Celsius, it is 20 minus 20.55555557. But to avoid this thing, we can simply use the built-in function in JavaScript, that is to fixed, and we can write here that how many decimal points we want after the dot. Okay, how many decimal points we want. We simply want one decimal point, so let's copy it from here and simply add it here too. Okay, it's simply not allowing the decimal points. So, okay, now if I do the same thing, minus 5 Celsius to Fahrenheit, it's 23.0. Okay, and in Celsius it's minus 20.6, not 66665. Okay, it was our very simple project JavaScript in which we convert Celsius to Fahrenheit and Fahrenheit to Celsius. And if you like the video, press the like button, press the subscribe button also, so that you can receive the latest notifications on above videos. Now I am planning to upload some videos of JavaScript big projects, for example, Amazon clone or Spotify clone. But before that, I will be uploading. I'm thinking a lot of things. For example, I can upload a course of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, or I will be uploading some C++ projects. For example, of snake game, of car game, or of Flappy Bird. Okay. So if you like the video, don't forget to press the like button.